Hello students, now I am going to start third chapter of chemistry, atoms and molecules. In its first part I will discuss laws of chemical combination. Up till now we have learnt about elements and compounds. Also we have learned that when same type of elements or different type of elements combine, compounds are formed. Now after knowing these facts, scientists were tried to find out answers of some questions such as why elements combine with each other, how elements combine with each other, and what happens when elements combine with each other. These laws of chemical combinations were given by scientists to explain all these questions. Now the first law of chemical combination is law of conservation of mass. This law was given by Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust. According to this law, mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. For example, if A and B are the two compounds, they react with each other and we get C and D. Here A and B are called as reactants and C and D are called as products. So according to this law of conservation of mass, that mass of reactants always and always be equals to mass of products in a chemical reaction. Let us discuss one numerical to understand this law. This is the first question given in your book on page number 32. Question number 1 is, in a reaction 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate reacted with 6 gram of ethanoic acid. The products were 2.2 gram of carbon dioxide, 0.9 gram of water and 8.2 gram of sodium ethanoate. Now they are asking that show that these observations are in agreement with the law of conservation of mass. Now let us first find out which are the reactants and which are the products. As it is given in the question that 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate reacted with 6 gram of ethanoic acid. That means sodium carbonate and ethanoic acid, these two are reactants. In return we get sodium carbonate, sodium ethanoate, carbon dioxide and water. So these three are products. Masses are given to us as 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate, 6 gram of ethanoic acid. Products, sodium ethanoate 8.2 gram, carbon dioxide 2.2 gram and water 0.9 gram. Now if we add mass of reactants, that is sodium carbonate and ethanoic acid, we get 11.3 gram. And if we add masses of all these products, then again we get 11.3 gram. That means the mass of products and mass of reactants both are same. So this proves that this data is in agreement of law of conservation of mass. Now let us discuss one more numerical to understand this law. 10.0 gram of calcium carbonate CaCO3 on heating gave 4.4 gram of CO2 and 5.6 gram of CaO. Show that these observations are in agreement with law of conservation of mass. Now here CaCO3 is the reactant because upon heating it gives CO2 and CaO. So mass of reactant, that is calcium carbonate CaCO3, is given to us as 10 gram. Mass of the products CO2 and CaO are given as 4.4 gram and 5.6 gram. If we add these two masses, then we get 10 gram. That means mass of reactant equals to mass of product. Since the mass of reactant is equal to mass of product, therefore these observations are in agreement with law of conservation of mass. Now, second law of chemical combination is law of constant proportion. According to this law, in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite proportion by mass. As we know that a compound is formed by the combination of elements, and elements combine by their masses. So this law stated that ratio of masses of the combining elements always remains same. For example, in water, the ratio of mass of hydrogen to mass of oxygen always be 1:8 respectively. Now let us discuss some questions to understand this law of definite proportion properly. First question is, hydrogen and oxygen combine in the ratio of 1:8 by mass to form water. What mass of oxygen gas would be required to react completely with 3 grams of hydrogen gas? Since hydrogen and oxygen combine in the ratio of 1:8 by mass, therefore we can say that 1 gram of hydrogen gas combined with 8 gram of oxygen gas. Okay. So if 1 gram of hydrogen gas is combined with 8 gram of oxygen gas, then 3 gram of hydrogen gas will combine with 24 gram of oxygen gas, obviously. So the answer is 24 gram of oxygen gas. Next numerical is, when 3.0 gram of carbon is burnt in 8.0 gram oxygen, 11 gram of carbon dioxide is produced. Now they are asking that what mass of carbon dioxide will be formed when 3.0 gram of carbon is burnt in 50 gram of oxygen. Now the equation for this process can be shown by this. Carbon, when combined with oxygen, we get carbon dioxide gas. 3 gram combined with 8 gram to give 11 gram of carbon dioxide. Now in the question, mass of carbon is given 3 gram, but the mass of oxygen is given 50 gram. 3 gram always and always be combined with 8 gram of oxygen. Although we have 50 gram of oxygen with us, but 3 gram of carbon always and always be combined with 8 gram of oxygen. So when 3 gram of carbon combined with 8 gram of oxygen, we get 11 gram of carbon dioxide. Okay. Remaining amount of oxygen remains unreacted. How much amount of oxygen gas remains unreacted? 50 minus 8, that is 42 gram of oxygen. This answer is governed by law of constant proportion. Okay. So this is all about this video. In this video I have discussed law of conservation of mass and law of definite proportion. Now in my next video I will discuss about atom and molecule. Thank you.